Finishing off the conversation.
Don't worry, but this gives them time.
No,
so we're not putting them in an awkward situation by being loud.
They don't really need to stop talking yet at all.
Oh, they can carry on for a bit.
Should we? We can chat for a while.
Yeah, it's fine. How are you feeling anyway?
I'm all right. I didn't really want to burst onto stage and just be like, "Hello," you know.
Normally I do.
Just chat a little.
I mean, that is kind of my MO.
Yeah?
Really,
What?
normally.
And I don't want to.
Music stops. Lights are up.
Shall we? One.
We should probably. Yeah.
Yeah. One, 2, 3.
Yo! What is up? Welcome to Forget What You Heard!
Yeah! Good evening, good evening!
How's it going? Good?
He said, how's it going? It's going alright, yeah, it's alright, isn't it? It's better than alright. It's Forget What You Heard! Yeah!
Amazing!
Yeah!
I like it, it's good. We've got the energy building going on.
This is what we
There's
do.
a lot of people here today. We're almost at capacity. I reckon we still got quite a lot more coming.
There's 2 more that have just walked in. Grab their money.
Hi, latecomers. Yeah, he will find you if you don't pay. Yeah. So, it's great to see you all. I've been missing my poetry, man.
Yeah.
This is it.
You know, well, you don't do enough of it, Matt, to be honest.
True.
I don't want to be harsh, but just saying, you know, I've been all over the place.
Yeah, I know. I know, that's why half of this room are like, Ricky, yeah!
Where have you been?
Who's he?
You know, actually, mate, the thing is, you guys might not know, Forget What You Heard's becoming quite a big thing. Did you?
Apparently.
Did you hear about this? We got contacted by a TV company asking if they could come down and film a little something tonight. That's a bit of a woo, isn't it? A little woo?
No.
Obviously, we said no.
Yeah, we were like, no. Are you joking?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds all well and good. You get the sort of rep that rings up. Oh, we really would love to come down.
Oh my God, you want to film our poetry night?
Oh, you wouldn't believe the things we've heard about your night. Yeah, okay, so what do you want? Well, what did they want?
They wanted to basically use our night as a platform to publicly humiliate a reality TV show contestant.
Yeah, innit?
That's not happening.
And for a start, it was called the Antisocial Network.
And one of the taglines for it was like, a hidden camera game show for the Facebook generation.
I was actually a little bit offended that they thought I was part of that generation. And what was even better was once we said to them, actually, we don't really want to provide a platform for... They were going to get their comedy writers to write a comedy poem for someone who's never read poetry before to come up on stage and read to us. And then this person was going to be sprung up as a surprise to improvise a poem. That sounds shit.
Like, I would be terrified if you made me stand up here and improvise a poem in front of people. I just don't think that's fair to these other people. And honestly, that's not what we're about, you know what I mean?
And then, when we declined it, they said, oh, okay, yeah, no worries, that's fine. Do you know any other nights, like, on the same night as yours? You thought, fuck me, no.
Wait a minute, actually, yeah.
No. Oh, wait, no, there was one. And I really hope they've gone there.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, Matt...
What's the name of the celebrity out of interest?
The celebrity? It's not a celebrity.
It's not a celebrity.
Yeah,
No,
these people, they sign up. They give over their social networks for 24 hours to their comedy writers. And they decide on tasks that are basically going to humiliate these people.
Why would you do that?
So, yeah, anyway, we've got your best interests at heart. That's what we want you to know.
We didn't think it was worth it for like 2 minutes of exposure to like sell this night out and make everybody feel uncomfortable. We'd rather keep our nice friendly vibe.
You know.
Underground, yeah. That's what it's about.
But Matt, after just saying we want to keep our nice friendly vibe, I've got something that... we're getting lower. I know I'm quite...
It's alright, it's alright. That's height appropriate. Carry on.
Asshole. So, those of you who were here last month, you will know that... And I remember, I've got a good memory, Matt. You can't shy away from this shit. So Matt, last month, he said he's going to be... Because I've been attacking him for not writing anything for quite a while. And he said he's going to write a new piece, like, for every new spoken word night that we do at Forget What You Heard, for every month. So Matt, I put it to you. Where the fuck's the piece?
Well... I'm working on it. I'm not
just say again, all together. Matt, where the fuck's the piece? 1, 2, 3. Matt, where the fuck's the piece?
Yeah, it's in my notebook and it's about half finished. But that's not the point. Like, I have been writing, which is what the intention of making that promise was. But it is a bit of a cop-out, I will grant you that. So
what, am I going to have to do a poem?
No.
Good.
I'll tell you what, Ricky. I'll let you jukebox me. You pick any one of my poems.
Is that some term in like the grinder community that I'm not aware
a euphemism.
of? Rick jukebox me. Is that like a rusty trombone but more modern?
It is like a rusty trombone. We'll get into that more later.
They're looking like, what's a rusty trombone?
Don't ask that question. Do not ask that question. You do not want that answering. I'll let you pick any one of my pieces, and I'll just do it for you as penance for not having got off my arse and finished a piece.
I haven't heard you perform a piece in a long time. Does anyone... I know pieces that I like of Matt's. Does anyone else know any? Yeah, people... Look, no. That's what's happened, Matt. That's what's happened. You act like a jukebox, but it's got like...
I've got one
half
poem.
A page to flick through. No, I'm being mean. You know what, actually...
Pick one.
I have got a piece that I want to hear. I haven't heard you do it in a long time, and you think it's going to be Holding Hands, but it's not. I like that piece. But cool. Actually, I want you to do a piece that people won't have heard for a while. I want...
you have to remember it, because otherwise I can't
Physical Education. The one with the...
Wow,
you know,
that's old. That's like 3 years old. Okay, cool. I haven't done that for time.
You in the mood for a bit of physical education?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, well, let's make some noise for Mr. Matt Cummins, please.
You're too kind. You're too kind. All right, as penance for my cop-out, I'm going to try and remember this. I've not done this for like 3 years. This was, there's this project called It Gets Better, which is still running now, which is basically about sending really positive message out there to LGBTQ youth who like don't have many positive role models and might think that everything's shit and isn't ever going to improve. And so I wrote this for that. I've not done it for ages, so let's see if I can remember it.
Let's get some excitement. This is Matt Cummins. Come on.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna have you follow me around in my day-to-day life and just like do that when I walk into a room.
Matt, I do follow you around.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sure it's the other way around. Okay. Shut up. I was a teacher's pet. I was a grade 8 apple polishing, homework on time doing, education loving geek. Detentions, none. Extensions, done, and early at that. And yes, in hindsight, I may well have been a bit of a twat. But I hated PE, because, trust me, when you're a 14-year-old gay kid, the very last thing you need is to find yourself naked, cross showers from your none the wiser target of affection, battling the imminent threat of a most embarrassing erection. I never forget that rush of blood to head, that dizzying sense of fear. The chance my body might betray a secret held so near, it was the one I was convinced if evidence would cast me out from my friends, from peers, from family, from all I cared about. And so this doubt, it filled my mind, pervaded every waking thought. Erased histories on browsers helped ensure I wasn't caught. I was distraught, distressed and vexed. I got depressed, I felt discouraged. Because youthful energy got wasted hiding who I was from others. Now I didn't so much step, but more got kicked out of the closet. I recollect my terror as I learned that boy had perused the sonnets and stolen secrets greedily garnered from my hacked email account. He made clear these revelations would be revealed. There was no doubt. Thus, tearful confessions to friends followed shortly. But they rallied around, buoyed me in storm seas, told me they loved me regardless of this. That moment imbued with unrecountable bliss as I realised that this wasn't it. There was more to life. I could drop the facade that I gripped and be free, my mind real, because I'd steal for so long for rejection when mostly I found naught but warmth and affection. Now you could say that I got lucky. There's probably some truth in that. You can't dispute the fact that the hostile habitat of high school promotes the cool over the different, rewards the norm before the misfit. Peer pressure perceived can warp and mislead your sense of self. It feels sadistic. But if you're there right now, and somehow you're listening to these words, there's a very simple message I'm trying to impart through convoluted verse. 4 simple syllables I hope you carry with you forever. However bleak the landscape seems to be, it gets better. You've a life of love and laugh and lust that's stretching out ahead of you. There's a world of possibilities, and I know that simply getting through the day can seem too much to take when you feel alone and lost. Just know, there are others who before you bore this cross, and yet we slipped out of its bindings, and we fashioned wooden wings because through hope and sheer tenacity you can rise above those slings and arrows flung. Consider them parting shots, because you'll leave all that behind. One day your memories of their bigotry will be blurry, ill-defined. I want to draw a diagram, lay plans and sketch a route to show you how you get here, how you finally figure out that your real friends love the real you, and that out doesn't mean cast out, and that you've absolutely nothing you need to feel ashamed about. Thank you very much. Peace. Wow. I can't believe I remembered that, actually. There were a few moments. Do you ever get that thing when you're on stage and like you get to the end of a line, you're like, do I know what's coming next?
Yeah, I know. You're sort of chasing towards it. You can see it in your head, but there's that blank spot, and you're getting closer and closer, and it's like, I know over the line. It's fine.
Hopefully my mouth's going to catch up. Yep, no, it's fine.
No, cool. That's why I picked that piece, Matt, because it is such a nice... It's that opening to the night. It gives you that welcome, that feeling, and I really like that. Matt is shaking.
What the fuck is this?
Big it up for Matt Cummins, guys. That was sick.
Oh, anyway, take it, Ricky.
So, I like to hear that. I mean, forget what you heard. We're all about being a welcoming night, a grassroots night for people to come along and, you know, no matter what your experience, get involved. It was nice to hear a few people getting the clicks going in that, but we need to get that a bit more. Let's encourage some people. I mean, if someone does a sick line, I don't know, let me pick a sick line. All right, if someone does a line like this, you see, from past stress, I've learnt that not a lot is left when love left. I mean, sure, I could have loved less, but lessons learnt through love lost left less hurt than those who live life with less loving. Yeah? Then you give a click up, yeah? Okay, right. He hit a few deep lines as well, you know, the ones with that, Okay, so let's just practice. Let's have a deep line. I'd walk an apocalypse wearing your shoes just to follow in your footsteps. Okay, you got that, right, cool. So we know now. Keep that vibe in mind, okay? Clicking and mms all the way, please, because we've got someone very special coming up to the stage right now. She's a Forget What You Heard regular, and she's also kind of representing the scene very soon. You know about her. Her name is Sara Hirsch. Pick it up. Do you want to go with this one? Yeah, okay.
All right.
I misled you.
Okay. That's about a bit.
Oh, you need a Ricky mic, sorry.
Oh, no. You all right?
Yeah, I think so. Is that all right? Yeah, cool. Okay. Hello. So recently someone said to me that they've never heard me do a poem about love or relationships or anything like that, kind of around Valentine's Day. And I went and thought about that, and it's true. So I wrote this. It's brand new, and it's called 5 Little Words. I don't write love poems because I can't rhyme you. I can't condense you into a neat little narrative. There are no adjectives for our story, no. Our story is written in the railings on Bournemouth Pier. 5 little words carved carefully in wood. S and T were here. T for you and S for me. And in 5 little words, we wrote a history, and that's our kind of poetry. I'm S for stress, for stroke me when it gets too much. I'm S for sorry, I confess I didn't mean what I said. My head's in a mess. Just leave me alone. I don't have much patience left. I'm S for sing to me because I can't sleep without it. I'm S for stop singing because I can't write when you do that. I'm S for the scars on my chest that only you see. I'm S for so many Saturdays spent between piled sheets, and Sundays walking miles on tired feet, and summers upon summers of seeing cities blistering with prickling heat. I'm the S in spend the rest of your life with me, but the scared of what being your wife would mean. Your T. Trustworthy. Totally. T for too tired. Again, come on, babe, it's one more drink. Fine, well, I'm going. You can just stay here and sleep, because clearly that's what you need. Tea, for tell me why I ever thought you weren't what I need. Tell me why I turned my back on you. Tell me what possessed me to take 2 weeks to come back to you, your tea. For the tea you refuse to drink. You think it's coffee for the weak. I think you should think before you speak, because I'm S, and I take my tea strong, like my resolve, and you're treading on eggshells, love, forever suggesting that someone like me could choose coffee over you. My tea. My ever secure, solid, sweet and sure cup of tea for testing me to my limits. But let's be honest, it's part of the fun of it. Part of our closely woven fabric. Part of the magic is seeing how far we can test each other. And if you take the T's out of test, well, you're just left with S. And darling, it's not even half as much fun alone. We may not be perfectly matched. Hypothetically, I might not be much of a catch, and we're on 2 different levels academically. I mean, I'm all fiction and you're all fact. But the fact that alphabetically we're as close as ABC, I mean, you can't get from R to U without S and T. That's good enough for me. So I don't write love poetry. Forget adjectives and neatly tied up narratives, because our story is written on the railings on Bournemouth Pier. 5 little words carved carefully in wood. S and T were here. T for you and S for me. And in 5 little words we wrote a history, and that is our kind of poetry. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sara Hirsch. Woo. Wow, and I am F for fucking impressed. Woo. Yeah, I can't imagine having anybody I'd rather have represent us at the World Slam Finals. So, yeah. Fucking A, give it up. Right. I hear you as well. It's like, it's February and it's like you always expect everybody to come up here with love poetry, and like it's very cool to say that you don't care about Valentine's Day, but got a little bit emotional. Anyway, moving on. You hear more about that as I drink more throughout the night. So, right, okay, cool. So this is somebody who I don't know, but I know that Rick does. I'm very excited to welcome a newcomer up to Forget What You Heard, Mike. As always, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Roxy Azari!
I know a boy who cried once. You told him, boys don't cry, take it like a man. 'Cause boys don't cry, 'cause to cry would show the side that is beyond robot. And beyond robot is unknown, and we fear unknown, so his eyes stay dry. 'Cause to cry would crack the pride in his father's walk, which technically already cracked, but he refuses to use a cane. Taught his son at a young age to wave hello to G.I. Joes and goodbye to G.I. Janes, who were both never really seen as Barbie dolls in men's clothes, but warriors in army turf. At age 7, he was jumping on couches, shooting at imaginary souls, forcing hypothetical holes into make-believe skin, all while wearing a sadistic grin. At age 7, I was told that closed fists never solved anything, only made matters worse, while he was told at age 7 that closed fist symbolized power. At age 7, I was playing house and teacher while he was playing cops and robbers, and his father bought him his first toy gun. Was told when life's problems get too difficult, here's what you do, son. BB gun bullets'll do the trick. Knives and swords, take your pick. But this is for you, and tears are for them. That emotional shield only brings you to the forefront of tears, and men don't cry. So take this gun and wipe away your fears, because men can never be vulnerable. And you're almost a man now. So you need to learn that crying is really another word for coward, and coward is really another word for boys who never grew into their skin. So you cannot let tears prevent you from growing into your limbs, because if you cry, you will never fit in. But I know a boy who cried once, and each tear in his eyes symbolized an ounce of respect lost from his pupils and added onto mine till they slipped from the face. He told me that he would now be his family's disgrace, and I told him that there is nothing wrong with showing some emotion. Your tears rebel against society's demand, and there's more honor in that than obeying an oppressing command. He told me that I was the only girl who could ever make him cry. And in that, I found some enigmatic pride, because it meant that I was the only girl who made him feel human on the outside, because in my eyes, it was never his peach fuzz, his voice, or the height of his stance, but his tears that indicated him becoming a man.
Matt, I told you, didn't I? Yeah, I did. We we see different people around. Obviously, we could go to different nights. You know, we won't mention names. We don't want to advert. You know, I'm joking. We're not like that. But we go to different nights and we sort of chat about the people. And she's like, "Oh, who's that one?" I said, "Oh man, Roxy." She's like, "Bringing the New York flavour over here," and. No, beautiful, beautiful piece. And I think that's a real thing in the poetry community as well, isn't it? That's the point. I was on a little radio show the other day, and I was asked about like why I write, and I said to feel. And you know, no matter how bad you feel, you know, you're feeling sad, you're feeling grief, you're feeling awful, it's going to be a whole lot better than feeling nothing. And you're right, too many men are being pushed into that area where they can't feel, and I think that's a terrible thing. So that piece is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Big it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Uniq Sistar!
Hi, how you doing? Good. I must say I'm really enjoying tonight. This is the first time I've been to this event. I'm loving it. Okay, who here's had a crush on someone before? Yep. And who has been sad enough to... And who here has been sad enough to not be able to get with that crush in the end? Yeah, well, this is my story. This is my story. This is called The Pain of My Affection, and I hope you enjoy it. My heart hurts. My soul is crying and I feel like a suspended cord in the lurch. I wish I could find somebody who could identify me real fast like a Google search. This feeling has awoken me out of a deep sleep and now I'm too alert. Too alert to the fact you're everything I want but can't have. Makes me sad. There's a light that shines special for you and me that allows us to have so much in common. We both like our window seats and any Jill Scott vibe that makes us feel golden. Sometimes I wish God could do a Maxwell and stop the world. Make us the same age so I could be a girl. Develop this into a marital affair, more importantly, so our love could go on and on but for eternity. Better yet, I wish I didn't know you, or you were just a mere acquaintance. But the fact you're just that little bit more makes my heart blatantly, wishfully, secretly, want to cry for you like Jodeci. You have me fiending. I only told you I liked you, but that's just a tip off like the brand name Iceberg. Whenever I think of you, I feel this surge of affection that I can't handle. So I do everything I can to dismantle it from my mind, body and soul. But that's the thing of these emotions, I'm not in total control. So what do? I would like to know if you feel the same way too, but hold your peace. Because if I find that you feel the same way too, I'll just be like, sheesh. Such a fine, handsome somebody. Creative, intelligent, and into the same things as me. I guess friendship will be the tree that our branches continue to grow. And I guess I feel better because finally you know. However, still, my heart hurts. My soul is crying and I feel like a suspended cord in the lurch. One day, someone like you will make the suspense a major one. Thank you. Thank you. I have a few of these CDs. They're £5, so if you're interested, I'm just sitting at the front here. Please support the cause. Thank you and have a good rest of the night.
Right, okay. Damn. Girl's got bars, right? And I've heard Uniq Sistar at a few places, and I haven't heard the CD, but I've heard enough of her stuff to tell you it's good enough to buy a CD of, all right? So, chat her up. That's the thing. Chat her up. I don't know, actually. This man next to her, is this... No? Okay, chat her up. All right. I'm looking at you, mate, the one next to her. Yeah. All right, okay. Coming up next, I'm really actually quite excited that this lady's arrived, because those of you that know me know that I'm not actually from these London parts. I always travel in from Southend. That's 3 A's and an F, innit? Thank you. And this lady is also a fellow traveller from Southend, and she's doing all sorts of brilliant things on the spoken word scene. Also you've written a play, haven't you? That's just been shown at... Yeah, damn. Bit of a woo for the playwriting, yeah? Woo! An even bigger woo and a clap, please, for Gill West.
That's making you feel tall, Rick, isn't it? I want to put that down. This is backup. I can see everyone here doesn't need this, but I do. Anyway, it's vintage. It's a file of facts. So, something a play that I've been doing recently is about an older woman who's not very happy to have been put in a home. Sorry, Rick, you've heard this a couple of times, haven't you, recently? Okay, it's called Putting Mum in Her Place. So I've got it here as backup if I forget. So, I've finally been deposited in the bank of no returns. Magnolia walls with faceless pictures of landscapes I'll never visit. Shiny linoleum floors smelling of stale piss and Savlon. Men with their slippers on the wrong feet. Women lost in a world of daytime TV and crosswords. Searching for misplaced dentures and lost dreams. And I know I'd been forgetting things. I forgot your birthday 2 years in a row and I wear a lot more purple. But does that really mean I should be put out to pastures unseen, grazing on insipid food and bland quiz shows? The world was once my oyster. Now it's a tightly closed shell of its former self. And you visit on a Sunday at 3 p.m. every week and we sift through the veneer of all that's past. You pretend you feel bad about putting me here. I pretend I've made friends with George and we never talk about what really matters. Truth, love, the things that cause us to laugh and cry, about the crap left on the bathroom floor. And we sit and drink the stewed tea, gratefully consume the stale pieces of Battenberg set before us by a woman whose name still eludes me. And yet... she did tell you I keep eating my dessert before my mains. She took this as confirmation of my oddness and unwillingness to conform. But if prunes are the only dessert you had offered, you'd want to get it over with, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Gill, you've got time if you want to do another little bit. You've got time. That was like a minute and a half. People want to hear a bit more. People want to hear a bit more, right? Yeah, they do. Have you got another piece you could share?
Anyone like watching the Jeremy Kyle show?
Whether you do or you don't.
Well, I do hope I don't offend anybody. This is called the Jeremy Vile show. Got to get into role here. You got my sister pregnant. I got the DNA to prove it. I'm going to punch you in the mouth and then I'm going to lose it. You've taken all my money and spent it all on gear. You offended all of us when you called my dad a queer. Your alcohol consumption is going off the scale. You broke my flat screen telly and made my mother wail. You've lost half your teeth from the lifestyle that you choose. Your junk food, your cannabis, your heroin and booze. You text to say you love me and then to say you don't. You think I'm going to have you back. I tell you now, I won't. Jerry's tried to find a way to help us put things straight. We've aired all this on telly and served it on a plate. Such a sordid tale of woe and dirty washing aired. And what is the old saying about a problem shared? Oh yeah, you served it on a plate and tried to keep it real. And yes, you really took the bait and showed us how you feel. But are you glad you told the world your slimy little secret? 'Cause now it's shared with millions, you can no longer keep it. One more quick one. Quick one. Go on, okay. Class distinction. Years ago, people used to think of class in terms of rich and poor, the kind of Marxist functionalist debate. Nowadays, it's much more about image, and this is what I wrote about class distinction. The upper, the middle, the on the fiddle, the working, shirking, street corner lurking, eccentric top, an unfair crop, the champagne carver and the Red Bull slop. The hunting class, the bunting class, the on the shelf and shunted class, the corgi class, a stick up your pass, Chihuahua, poodle, staffy class, the full cream semi and the skimmed off glass, Stilton brie, mild cheddar class, the fair trade conscious suburban fast to the over the top bourbon class, the pub, wine bar, nightclub class, opera, film, karaoke mask, Chanel and pearls to the fake tan pass, the wags and chavs and the merkin class. A value-driven skittish farce, we love our sense of British class.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Gill Scott. Very nice. Speaking as a proud upper, lower middle class boy. Yeah, speaking about the Jeremy Kyle show as well, I've never quite understood that. I was saying earlier, like, I don't understand why you'd volunteer for a reality TV show, but at what point are you like, yeah, this problem seems like the best place to sort this out will probably be on national television in front of a judgmental prick. Just going to be shouting at me the entire time. I think it was Charlie Brooker, actually, who's talking about Jeremy Kyle, where he was saying, I'm not saying that Jeremy Kyle is the devil, I'm just saying that if you needed someone to play the devil in a film that you were making, you could probably save a lot of money by making Jeremy Kyle do it. Truth. So, there are poets that you see around the scene far too rarely. A lot of poets that you see around the scene far too rarely, and there are people who you're like, oh, fuck, yeah, all right, stop pointing at me, Rick. And there are people who are like, oh, you should come down to my night because I really like you. And I think I've only managed to see this guy a couple of times, but it turned out there was this weird connection. Like, I'm really good friends with one of his old childhood friends. The guy is a fucking phenomenal poet, so I want to give the very warmest forget what you heard welcome to Mr. Tom Mansfield.
Thanks, Matt. That was very kind. Hello. Pleased to see you. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the night. I've been really enjoying what I've heard so far. I'd like to share a piece with you called Golden Gears. It's about a few different themes. It's about a few different things. It's kind of philosophical, but it's very much about rebirth and catharsis and the future, individually and collectively as a species. I've got golden gears turning in my being, and copper cogs just rotating for a feeling. A metal soul is not the whole picture. My delicate heart of flesh beats to generate this scripture. Inside state, muddle middle move must. Outside's great, expanded plan thrust. Rust-ridden superstructure, scaffold crushed. Loud sound and dusty cloud caused fuss. Gust of fresh air, breath, wind begin. Activate grin, allow spin cogs to lock. Machine ghost, dream host, attracts much luck. Golden gears grind away the lust that I lost. Now with the last of the lust, as said first I must convert it to trust in the thirst for the thrust. It's the thrust that gives birth to the worthwhile verse. And at last the use of the muse is proved. She sends me a spark from that invisible plane, a spark to kickstart my electrical brain, which explains the change of the reference frame. The reference frame's a bubble, the bloody trouble to blame. My perspective, double glazed, frosted window pane. But I smashed the dark glass at last. Clatter of the shattered shards ground down to grain. By a blast from a better bard with a meta brain, taken to task with the crushing grasp on his future fame. Awoken fast with the start, I was clasping solid flame. Placed apart from the start, I loosely learnt to laugh. Looking for a girl with a good grasp on the future fast, to see clear and vast at last from the ship's mast. But I fell through the faulty rigging, slipped in that salty sea. Descending in the deep wet was dented metal me. That epic ocean, salt solution, years of fearful tears. Sodium and water was no good for my gears. So golden gears glow and grind away the rust that I got. Now with the last of the rust, as said first I must convert it to trust in the thirst for the thrust. It's the thrust that pumps bellows in the smelter for the hot, to heat the fire up and melt the metal dust. Recast the molten metal, make a brass bust. Buff up the brass bust with the last lust from that past verse, and have a little metal left, enough to make a mask. Adorned with a bronze mask and brass bodice bust, I'm standing fast, with the fruits of my first thirst and my second task, fit to burst. As the stars host this machine ghost who's working hard to master growth. Now the boast of a pristine dream is buoyant in the sea now, because it built a boat. Unlikely to elope, if capable and able to cope, great. Scapegoats redundant, navigate the Cape of Good Hope, mate, with strong strokes as if surmounting fate, and with a sideways 8, shaped like a Mobius strip, as a logic gate. It's on, off, both, neither holding every state. Practical fractals describe tectonic plates. Wisdom from the wellspring will always permeate, while the rate of acceleration itself accelerates. So this armour that can't crack absorbs the weak flak, while gleaming golden gears continue to turn quick, and glowing golden gears cannot fail to fix the broken bits that bleed black and make the mechanism sick, like an oil slick leaked from this century's ship. It sticks to broken bronze birds and strangles silver fish, but they yearn to fly free or swim fresh in the wet. So this sunshine machine of mine that's standing on the deck, it melts malignant liquid with a burning bright breath. That's the strong breath, death grin, life begin again. Wisdom from the wellspring will soak the growth in zen. Science in a sing-song, surprising special blend. I've got golden gears turning in my being, and copper cogs just rotating for a feeling. This metal soul, it's not the whole picture. My delicate heart of flesh beats to generate this scripture. So this survival machine of mine that's me, decked out with a projector, can project a rich colour picture. A schematic of my soul, blueprint of my mental centre, a diagrammatic drawing that displays all those detrimental dents in my metal. This experimental venting is unrelenting. Psychological strength drawn from a magical mental sigil obliterates that muddle in my middle, instills in me the prescience of Michelangelo's Libyan Sibyl, the priestess prophetess painted on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. She foretold the coming of the day when that which is hidden shall be revealed, and the grand illusion is reduced to shrapnel by the glowing knowing golden gears of the mind, as super-future post-human people learn to mentally manipulate matter based on an empirical model. These spiritual machines of loving grace emerged from the human race, which emerged from apes. It is with rich energy that the script's written on pages of a fabric known as time-space. I said it's with rich energy that the script's written on pages of a fabric known as time-space. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
So, like, I'm from a hip-hop background, and, you know, I was giving out the clicks and the ums as your sort of arsenal to bring forward, excuse the football upstairs, the arsenal to bring forwards. I think, actually, he brought forth the hip-hop whoop, actually. The whoop! And I even heard a few, yeah. So, damn, Tom Mansfield, what's his name? Tom Mansfield, big it up. Woo!